I think his name, what was it, OT?
A Mexican OT.
Yeah, that said the N-word.
Look at him take that sip of water. He like, hey, bro, I came on here to promote my comedy special. Listen, y'all. I really am not a fan of black people trying to police other people on saying the N-word. I'm really not. I'm really not. But we gonna get into it. My name is Fitz. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Really helps the channel out. Also, if you are a content creator looking to build your brand online without the burnout, check out my Content Confidence Workbook. Information is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. All right. So what do we have here? Essentially, OT is a Mexican, and this dude is a Mexican that he's talking to, Ralph. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Ralph Barbosa. I think it's something like that. Funny comedian, go check him out. But he's essentially trying to press him about someone else who's Mexican saying the N-word and trying to see, is it okay if Mexican people say the N-word? Because recently there's been a lot of people that have come out and said, we grew up around them, it's okay if they say it. But let's get into it and let's see what he got to say.
I mean, there ain't no past. You don't get to be, oh man, I'm cool with the homies. No, bro.
Yeah, I think that, I can't speak for Mexican OT, but what I will say is that, I don't know what it's like in Georgia, but in Texas, a lot of us were saying it growing up. And I think it wasn't until I started going to open mics that I realized, like, I don't think we're supposed to be saying it.
Yeah.
But I was so...
This is absolutely true. This is absolutely true. So I grew up in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it is very mixed there. There's cultures from all over the world. People move to Vegas. It's rarer that you find somebody that's actually born and raised in Vegas. It happens. But there were Mexican people that said the N-word. There were white people that said the N-word. I'll give you a quick story. I used to ride the bus to school. And on the bus, me and other kids, we'd just be going back and forth talking shit and all this other stuff. And there was a white kid who had said the N-word. Now, we had a black bus driver. And I remember that black bus driver actually got upset with me. He got upset with me because the white kid was saying the N-word. And he was saying, I'm going back and forth with this white dude and we saying and stuff. He was upset with me for allowing him to say it and kind of, being as welcoming of him saying it. I didn't understand it at the time. He was like really upset. And I did not understand why, but as I grew up, I understood why. But one of the things people have to remember is that black people cannot switch code all the time. 1 minute we care about black culture, the next minute we don't. 1 minute we're protective, the next minute we're not. You can't sit here and blame people and expect them to respect us when we don't even respect us. And I'm not even going to talk about black people saying the N-word. I'm going to keep it on other people saying the N-word, right? Black people say it in our music. We say it all around each other. We do all these things around other groups of people, not even just within black people, but around other groups of people, and we expect them not to do it. Like, you have a whole rap genre dedicated to black murder, black exploitation, black people talking about, fighting and killing other black people and using the N-word. And that music is sold to white people. And you don't think they're going to say it? We go to these mixed schools with Mexicans and whites and black people saying the N-word in their friend group. You don't think people are going to say it? So stop the hypocrisy. And I'm going to let it play a little. And I'm going to get on Shannon Sharpe. Because I got something for Shannon Sharpe too.
So enclosed, like I was so...
But you
on open mics that I realized, like, I don't think we're supposed to be saying it.
Yeah.
But I was so enclosed, like I was so...
But were you saying it around blacks or were you saying it around in your community?
No, like with black, like, you think there wasn't no black people where I grew up?
No, I'm just saying.
We weren't saying, we weren't like saying it, I heard this on TV, like, let's just say it. Like, it was just like saying bro or like the thing. But once I started kind of going outside of my own neighborhood, my own like circles, then I started realizing like, nah, you're not supposed to be like saying
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's why like I kind of get where OT's coming from, but at the same time, like, yeah, I mean, I'm not like I said, I'm not gonna speak for OT and like be like he shouldn't have said this, should have said that.
Right.
But like I somewhat understand what he was saying. You know what I mean?
Right.
Only because it's like where we're growing up, everybody was saying it. Like white kids were saying it where I was growing up with other black kids.
Right.
And like maybe some of the black kids didn't like it, but like nobody was saying nothing. Like for the most part, like it was okay.
Right.
There, as kids. Now as we grew up and started going into different circles, I think it was on us to kind of like
Realize that, that ain't cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make a career saying this on stage. You know, like, you know.
All right, so here's where I'm at with Shannon Sharpe trying to press him, because this is what I find funny. Shannon Sharpe dates white women. He dates white women. He always talks about how he's not going to get into, the race stuff, and he's not going to talk about politics and things like that. So it's very interesting that now he's trying to take this very pro-black, you can't say this, policing people. This dude wasn't even the one that said it. It was someone else who was Mexican, and he's like trying to be like, y'all can't say it. First of all, we live in America. People can say whatever the hell they want to say. I'm not in the business of telling people what they can and can't say. Maybe I'll say you shouldn't say that, or it might not be a good idea, it might not be a good look, but not you can't say something. Because when you tell people they can't do something, what do? They do more of it. Now, Shannon Sharpe is the last person who should be trying to press somebody on what they say and stuff like that. Why? Shannon Sharpe is not pro-black. Shannon Sharpe is not pro-black. None of the conversations that he has with black people are very uplifting. They're not critically thinking. He's really just messy. He's there for the tea. Let's be real. But here's the bigger issue with this, right? We live in a space and time where people who are not well studied, like Shannon Sharpe, on these issues and things like that, they have a platform and they interview people and they go with the mainstream thing. I get it. But I don't know how you couldn't know that Mexican people have been saying the N-word around black people. I don't know how you couldn't know that if you tapped into the culture. Let me know in the comment section, any black people, white people, anybody else, even black people. When you were growing up, were other people besides black people saying the N-word? Because I remember they were. I remember it wasn't a big deal. I remember there was a distinction between the ER and the A at the end. I remember all of that. Now, as an adult, I may look at it a little differently, but I don't really run into people that are trying to risk everything by saying it. And here's another thing. Black people. I'm talking to black people right now. You have got to get out of the mindset that you are willing to throw your life away if someone uses that word. I know people who have looked me dead in my eyes and said, if a white person would have called me the N-word, or if a white person calls me the N-word, I'll shoot them. I'll kill them. I'll beat the brakes off of them. And go to prison over a word? Y'all willing to crash out over a word that has no power, has no meaning really today. Y'all willing to crash out. Stop. You're more offended by a word. You're more offended by the N-word than being broke. Let's be real. You're more offended by the N-word than the fact that you don't have any money saved up. You're more offended by the N-word than the fact that you've been at a job that you don't like and you have done nothing to level up. How do you even have time? How do you have time to be offended by that? How do you have time when there's all this opportunity out here? How do you have time? Someone let me know. How do you have time? Because I'm doing fairly well for myself and my family, and I don't even have time to be offended. Now, I'm not saying you can't disagree with them. I'm not saying you can't disagree with someone saying something or disagree with something in general, but being offended is different than disagreeing. Being offended is different than disagreeing. Disagreeing, you go, oh, I disagree with that. And then you go on with your business. Being offended is, I'm going to take time to comment, and I'm going to take time to make sure everybody knows my opinion, and I'm going to take time to make sure that this person can't say this and this person can't say that. When I'm in my friend group, when I'm out in public, I'm going to police these things. I'm going to spend all this time and energy on it. How do you have the time and energy to go out here and be offended in the world when you're broke? when you don't have what you want in your life? How do you have the time? That's what I'm wondering. Black people, we own little to no wealth in this country. How do we have time to be offended by what another person says who you can't control it anyways? It is not illegal to say that word. It's not illegal. There may be consequences, but it's not illegal. So we have to stop pretending that this is outrage. Because where did all these white kids and Mexican kids learn that it was okay to say this word? From our music, from being around us, and you in a group with white people and black people and Mexican people, and you saying it. Let's be real. Stop the fake outrage. We don't care that that word is used. You only care when you're in a situation where you can crash out and it makes you look like a hero. This isn't a big deal. And Shannon Sharpe, you're not going to do nothing to anyone that says that word. So like, if you're not willing to escalate and you're not willing to do something about it, why even bring it up? Right? Like, why even bring it up? What are you going to do? If he sat there and said, hey, I could say the N-word if I want to, what are you actually going to do? Nothing. You're going to go on with your podcast. Same with regular black people. If someone says, I want to say this word and there's nothing you can do to stop me, what are you going to do? Probably nothing. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Am I tripping? Should black people really crash out over other people saying the N-word? Does it have any power? Let me know in the comment section. Also, tap in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. All that great stuff. And I'll see y'all in the next video.